now, Beastman, what do you know about taking off your clothes? You're just a slut from down below in Castle Grayskull. Come on.
Skeletor, I saved my leg for you tonight. And if you see my cock, I hope you go and fight. Skeletor, you made me do some coke. I'm up all night and it's no joke.
And we're officially canceled. Well, it was a nice revival while it lasted. I mean, I had plans, I had things that I wanted to do, but guess that's not happening now, because I decided to make a dumb joke that referenced something really, really stupid from ye olden days of YouTube, and now I'm canceled for it, because that's how the internet works. Yeah, we prove to the world how we're rational people by just looking for reasons to be offended, and then when we find it, we come storming the gates and demand the dude's head on a stick and blood in a plate, That's because that's the mark of a civilized civilization. Oh, boy, I'm joking. But am I really? I don't know. It's like... So, yeah, before we get too far into it, yeah, that was a little ditty from ye olden days of YouTube called Skeletor vs. Beastman. I've heard differing accounts regarding who made that. One side tells me it was Bam Margera's little outfit, CKY, aka Camp Kill Yourself. And I've heard another side tell me it was some dude with a prank show back in those days. I want to, like, Jason something or other. I can't remember his name, but I've heard conflicting accounts as to who made it. But the important thing is, it's out there on the internet. It's been on YouTube pretty much for as long as YouTube has been a thing, as far as I know, and yikes. That thing has aged so badly. I would dare say, was this ever appropriate in the first place? Like, I mean, far be it for me to criticize people for their humor, but, like, it's like, was this ever funny? I remember my friends used to think it was hilarious, and maybe I did too back then, but it's like, this is one of those things I visit now, and it's like, oh boy, you cannot get away with this in 2021. Like, if you so much as made one reference to one verse in this thing in 2011... 2011? Oh, man, that is many, many years away, 2011. I mean, I meant 2021. If you made a reference like that in 2021, like if you even referenced one lyric, they'd probably yank your arms off and beat you to death with a bloody end. That's pretty much what I would think, because, yeah, that sort of thing isn't funny anymore. And some would say it wasn't funny back then either, but, like, we've really decided that sort of shit isn't funny anymore. We just clamp down on it, and in the case of Skeletor versus Beastman, I can see it, like... Okay, let's move on, shall we? So, yeah, if you follow my channel at all, you probably never listened to Teal Hat Radio, because nobody fucking listened to Teal Hat Radio. I stretched this thing to multiple platforms and everything. I put it on Spotify, I put it on Google Podcasts, I think I put it on Pandora, I might have put it on other things, as well as my YouTube channel, but nobody listened to it. I guarantee you nobody listened to it. At least that's what I thought, until I looked at the statistics several months after the fact, and turns out at least the last episode or two actually did get a couple of listens, and maybe even a thumbs up, so... Okay, maybe I was a bit premature in my cancellation, but... well, I don't really say cancellation. Like, I can't remember what I said in that last episode all the way back in April, but I think... what I said was, I'm putting it on the shelf, and I'm waiting for things to mellow out, maybe if I decide to cancel a series, or maybe dedicate Monday to something other than wild card shit, like, maybe this is the day I review a movie in the theater, maybe this is the day I do a reaction to a trailer, maybe this is the day I try a new flavor of Mountain Dew, because that seems to be something I do on this channel. It made sense at the time, shut up. But it's like, I left Monday open. I call it Wild Card Monday because you never know what you're going to get. I might even test out a pilot on Monday, you never know, but it occurs to me, I really haven't been doing anything with Monday, so maybe I could bring Teal Hat Radio back and make that my Monday thing. Also, if I'm being entirely honest, I might be taking a break from Netflix. Like, I'm not about to cancel my subscription, mind you. I'm still looking forward to the series finale of F is for Family that they're talking about. But, you know, I might be done with just looking at random movies on Netflix and praying to God that they're good, or I can at least milk material out of it for something, because I don't know, man. Like, the funny thing is, if Jellystone hadn't won that poll I did a week ago, I would say that Masters of the Universe Revelations was going to be my last Netflix review for a while, and we'll get to that in just a second. But the last thing I was originally planning on reviewing, like, I didn't plan on quitting necessarily at the time, but the thing I was going to review a couple weeks ago but never got around to uploading, I think I ended up deleting the video because for once I was just I was literally that unhappy with the review to the point where it's like, if I upload this, it's going to be embarrassing. I mean, it's going to be the moose head over the mantle all over again. And the movie I was going to review was Gunpowder Milkshake, which is a pretty standard action movie with a girl action hero trying to protect this 8-year-old girl from mobsters and assassins and stuff. It's one of those movies where when you watch it, it's basically just your pretty standard action movie, you know, gunfights, explosions, maybe a little martial arts here and there to, you know, vary things up a little, you know. But the thing about Gunpowder Milkshake is when I find out it's a female action hero, I really don't want to be this guy, but the way I've been hardwired over the last, 3 or 4 years is I kind of have to be that guy now. And I see that there's a female action hero, and I have to ask out loud, okay, is this going to be a fun movie, or is this going to be a 90-minute long feminist lecture designed to remind me that everything is my fault because I happen to be born straight, white, and male? I need to atone for the actions of my ancestors. You know, that sort of shit. But, you know, it's like, I don't want to be that guy, though. You know, I don't want to be the guy who goes into every movie and just picks it apart looking for fucking snowflakes, you know? I don't want to look for the snowflake agenda. I don't want to look for the red hat agenda, you know? I just want to watch a dumb movie full of explosions, you know? For the record, maybe you could glean the idea that there's feminist politics in this movie by the fact that all the bad guys are just nameless men in suits, and all the girls are the heroes, you know, all the heroes are girls and women, and, you know, strong. Like, I never really got the strong, independent woman vibe. I just got the badass female action hero vibe. But I think the one point where it sealed it in for me was when it got to the very end of the movie. We got the, basically the Wilson Fisk character, the big guy, you know, he's, you know, suit and tie, bald head, you know, Wilson Fisk, or just Mr. X, if you're into Streets of Rage at all, you know, just typical criminal kingpin, in charge of the world, behind the scenes kind of guy, you know. Our heroine meets him face to face, and they have the standoff, and he goes into his villainous monologue, and he immediately assures her that everything that's going on right here, it's nothing personal, it's nothing political, it's just a matter of business. I have nothing against women, and I'm already thinking, dude, stop! No! This isn't how you do a villain. Like, yeah, he's still an asshole, you know, he's still trying to have her killed, and he's still, you know, painting the streets red with the blood of his enemies, but I kind of feel like if you're going to make a villain, you need to go the whole 9 yards, you know? You need to make this guy a fucking misogynist pig, you know? Maybe, you know, like in his monologue, instead of trying to assure her that this is strictly business, you know, have him say, you know, this is strictly business, sweet cheeks, you know? Just that sort of thing, you know? And it's weird that I'm raging against this, because, you know, I hate the fact that, like, you know, all the villains and everything are allegories for Donald Trump, and how, you know, everything stuff like that, you know, I hate that, but, like, the one time they actually try to make the villain, they make the... I can't put it into words, it's just... It's weird that this is what I want, you know? It's like, I want the villain to be villainous, I want him to be misogynist, because, you know, the idea of being a villain is you have to be unlikable, you know? Even if you go even the route of giving him, like, 0.01% of sympathy, you have failed at writing a villain, you know? But maybe that's just me. That's just me, and that's where I sit on it. And I basically had to delete that review because I was not having fun recording it. And looking back at what I had made, it genuinely did not look like a good review. And maybe I just need to pass this one over. You know, I need to skip it and give myself a break. And I think maybe the best thing I can do right now is maybe take a break from Netflix entirely. Like, at least when it comes to, like, reviewing stuff. I'm probably still going to watch stuff on Netflix. Like, you know, some of my favorite shows right now are still on Netflix. And I'm not just talking about the exclusives like F is for Family. I'm talking about the IT Crowd is on Netflix. I think Malcolm in the Middle might still be on Netflix. Or maybe that moved to Hulu. Stuff like that, you know? Like, there are a couple of shows that I like, and they're on Netflix, so, okay, guess I'll keep the account around for those. But I'm probably not going to be doing any reviews for at least a couple weeks. I need to take a break from that. And as far as Pluto TV reviews go, I haven't really been finding anything... Well, that's not entirely true. I did find some stuff that caught my interest. Unfortunately, what caught my interest was Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda, which is a show I've been... I can't remember if I talked about this yet or not, but, like... excuse me, sorry about that. Remember, I'm canceled. I don't have to mind my manners. But anyway, I can't remember if I talked about it or not, but I love that show in a weird way, and I kind of want to I want to watch it, you know, I want to catch up on all the stuff I missed out on, and I want to re-watch the stuff I already watched, you know, I want to enjoy the show, you know, and I'm not going to be able to do that if I'm looking for random movies to review on Pluto TV, and let's be honest, this month has not really given me a lot to work with. At least I don't think so. They recently added all 3 Matrix movies, and really, who hasn't aired their piece about the Matrix at this point? Matrix isn't obscure. Everybody's seen the Matrix. People who haven't seen the Matrix have seen the Matrix, you know? I believe my wife calls that cultural osmosis. So, you know, you've seen the Matrix in one way, shape, or form. And the same goes for Transformers, which they they recently added the very first one from 2007. They added the one that debuted Devastator in 2009, and even if you liked the 2007 one, the one with Devastator, no amount of Devastator could redeem that movie, apparently, and, like, even people who liked the first one hated the second one, and yeah, that was a thing. It's like, they're uploading a lot of movies where it's like, dude, everybody's already seen this, and everybody's already talked about it. I don't think I could introduce anything new, so maybe now is the time to take a break from that, maybe for the rest of August, and maybe I could watch some shows that I've been meaning to watch. Like, they uploaded Andromeda, like I said, I should probably catch up on that. They also uploaded a show called Extreme Dodgeball, which... I can't decide if this show is awesome or if it's stupid. Like, I've been watching it every night before bed, and it's like, this is the perfect level of mindless TV. Like, it's intriguing enough to hold my attention while I'm winding down from a day, and it's stupid enough to where, like, nobody could take it seriously, and it's like, there's no reason to get invested because this is stupid. So, of course, it's got Bill Dwyer on color commentary, so, you know, that's how you know it's not intended to be taken too serious, because if you have a parody of a sport out there, you hire Bill Dwyer to do commentary for it, especially if it's the 2000s, because he did Extreme Dodgeball, he did BattleBots, the first incarnation of BattleBots. I'm pretty sure he did other stuff, but those are the things that I remember off the top of my head, so, you know. That's basically what I've been doing with my Pluto TV time, and So it's like between that and the fact I'm taking a break from Netflix, I've just got this wide open space on the channel right now, so maybe it's time I tried podcasting again, is I guess what I'm trying to say here. Well, I guess the only thing left to talk about here on my list is the main event here, the Kevin Smith Masters of the Universe cartoon. And, you know, I was going to review this, like I said, you know, if Jellystone hadn't won, or if nobody had even voted in the poll in the first place, which I was honestly expecting to happen, because this YouTube channel doesn't have all that many followers, and my Twitter feed has even fewer than this, but I was planning on doing a Masters of the Universe review anyway, and, you know, I was like, I was going to do this review from the perspective of somebody who's never really given a shit about He-Man in the first place, because that's me in a nutshell, you know, I don't care. I've never been all that fond of He-Man to begin with. Like, He-Man is definitely before my time, you know, like, the cartoons I grew up with were a lot of the 90s stuff. Like, the most 80s cartoon I ever grew up with was maybe, like, Heathcliff. That's the only one I really remember. But a lot of the stuff I liked was, like, 90s cartoons, you know, stuff like the Animaniacs, Tasmania, the Freakazoid, Batman, the animated series, X-Men, the animated series. If we're not talking cartoons, then I grew up with stuff like Power Rangers, too, and boy, that did not age well at all, but I digress. Like, you know, it's like, He-Man was before my time, undisputedly, so I'm not as invested in He-Man as some of these diehards are, but, like... So, the thing that's bringing me to this is Kevin Smith. The thing that brings me to the show is that it's Kevin Smith, and I love Kevin Smith. You know, I love most of his movies. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's flawless and that he's never made a bad movie, because he has made a couple of bad movies. Like, he made Jersey Girl, which was probably, like, the first time I'd ever seen a bad Kevin Smith movie back in '04. You know, he made Cop Out, which, just looking at the trailer, it looked stupid. It did not look like the kind of movie that was worth spending money on. I know some people don't like Tusk, and it's not hard to see why. Tusk is one of those weird movies where you either like it or you don't. I liked it personally, but if you don't like it, I'm not gonna give you a lecture. Unlike a lot of the people who are mad about Masters of the Universe right now, but we'll get to that in just a second here. I mean, he hasn't had a flawless track record, you know, he's made a few stinkers. But you know what? The thing about fandom is you gotta take the good with the bad sometimes. You gotta roll with the punches. You gotta understand that Po Buddy's nerfect, you know, and Kevin Smith is definitely not nerfect. That being said, you know, let me start that over here. Masters of the Universe. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Masters of the Universe. I'm here primarily because Kevin Smith is on board, and I'm interested in seeing what happens here. I'm going in with, like, the lowest expectations possible, and unlike a lot of people, I ended up liking this cartoon a lot. Like, this was actually really good, I thought. It was a surprisingly good cartoon. Like, at absolute worst, I would say the whole thing with, like, the cult of Motherboard got kind of dumb, you know, like, the wordplay just, I felt my head developing a magnetic attraction to my desk. That's how bad some of it was. The Motherboard, the Sonaflex, and the Holy Sprocket. Actually, I don't remember what the Sun portion was, but, you know, it's just... And the only other thing I really didn't like about Masters of the Universe Revelations was it ended on a cliffhanger. Now, on his podcast, Fat Man Beyond, I find out later on that there is a part 2 that's basically done, and it's going to come out later on, maybe later in the year, maybe really early 2022 if there's complications. I don't know when exactly, but there is a part 2 in the works, and it will resolve everything, but the way the crowd has been reacting, I'm not sure there's gonna be a part 2, because, you know, you can tell me that this doesn't represent the entire fan base, but does it really, though? I don't know. Just all I know is I appear to be in a fringe minority, which for me is nothing new. I like a lot of stuff people hate. I hate a bunch of stuff that a lot of people like. I'm just used to it at this point, but I like this cartoon, and it's such a bummer that it ended on the cliffhanger it did end on, because, like, if you don't get part 2, then basically Skeletor wins. You know? It's like the bad guy wins, and that doesn't make for good storytelling, does it? I mean, it's very avant-garde, very Aeon Flux at absolute best, but, you know, just nobody likes the story when the bad guy wins. I mean, trust me, I've written a story or two like that, and I got the business end of it from somebody on Reader's Favorite, but that's neither here nor there. And a lot of the complaints I've been seeing is over some of the pettiest fucking shit, too. Like, the whole thing started with Clownfish TV making a video that I will be the first to admit I haven't seen, because I generally don't watch Clownfish TV. I generally don't watch a whole lot of commentary channels for the sake of my own sanity, because I have noticed over the last few years that a lot of commentary channels, like, how do I say this? I get the feeling a lot of them want to make America great again, if you know what I mean. And I'm not saying that, and I don't just mean they're making fun of, like, the SJWs, the snowflakes, the woke, you know. I mean, I make fun of those people too, but, you know, there's making fun of the people who say you shouldn't assign a gender to your child until they're 5. And then there's, you know, the people who, I get this sneaking suspicion they have a red hat somewhere in their collection, and, you know, like, maybe there's some Q drops on their hard drive. You know, that's kind of the impression I've gotten from a few of the commentators that have been recommended to me for YouTube, and I have to constantly tell YouTube, stop recommending this channel, god damn it. I'm not interested in commentaries. So it's like, if I'm wrong about Clownfish TV, then I'm wrong about Clownfish TV. Like, okay, fine. I will admit it if I'm wrong, but at the same time, for the sake of my own sanity, it just comes off as another commentary channel, and based on what one or two people I follow somewhat closely on Twitter had to say, I kind of get the impression, yeah, they kind of want to make America great again too, so maybe I should just save myself the headache and just not bother. But again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not trying to slander anybody. I'm just, at worst, I'm just misinformed, and that's that. And the drama probably would have just ended there, except Kevin Smith apparently didn't really handle himself with the best of... Like, he didn't handle himself very gracefully in the debate between him and Clownfish, and it's not the first time I've seen Kevin Smith not handle himself with grace on the social network. I mean, anybody remember Fatty McNoFly by chance? That was an episode, and... But, so yeah, it's like, I'm not surprised that happened, but, you know, there's that, and it's like, okay, I could maybe see that, like, if you're a diehard Clownfisher, or whatever Clownfish TV fans call themselves, and it's like, yeah, I could maybe see that if you're on that side of the fence, but, like, then we actually get into some of the criticisms I've seen, and a lot of people are mad because they were expecting He-Man, and they ended up getting Teal. And, okay, like, you didn't get the cartoon you wanted, and that is unfortunate, but maybe give the show a chance, you know? Like, maybe you'll end up liking it. Like, you watched episode 1 and you saw that He-Man got killed off, and then you just decided to stop watching, and you went to Kevin Smith's profile and started shouting, "Fuck you, you fucking piece of human garbage! You lied to me about He-Man! You're a filthy fucking liar, and you deserve to die in the gutter, you fat fuck!" It's like, that's a little excessive. It's like, there's like 4 more episodes, and, you know, Prince Adam comes back. Spoiler. You're not gonna watch it. You don't. You've made up your mind after episode 1. You don't care. You might not have even seen episode 1. You probably just heard the gossip and decided, boom, I'm not going to watch it. fuck you. That'll show you. It's like, yeah, you showed me, all right, buddy. Whatever. It's like, yeah, you didn't get the cartoon you wanted, but, like, maybe give it a shot, you know? Maybe you'll end up liking it. I mean, I don't even like He-Man. Like, if literally anyone other than Kevin Smith were directing this show, I probably wouldn't have watched it in the first place. But this ended up actually being a really good cartoon, I thought, you know? But yeah, I guess Kevin Smith is a filthy fucking liar, and by that logic, I'm a filthy fucking liar, because I said I might have been retiring the show, but then I brought it back, so I guess that makes me a liar, too. I don't know, I'm gonna get so much hate mail for this, but, like, the other thing I noticed that a lot of people bring up is, the fabled activist haircut. Why am I doing air quotes? You can't see me. But the activist haircut that Teal has, and it's like, shut up. It's like, yeah, she has short hair. And? I don't know, man. It reminds me of that Mortal Kombat 11 deal where, like, everybody was losing their shit over the fact that the women in Mortal Kombat didn't have gigantic fucking G-cup titties, you know? It's like, there's plenty of things to be mad at when it comes to Mortal Kombat 11. Like, you know, that's yet another game with microtransactions, for example. It has renewable coffins that are clearly designed to eat your money, both virtual currency and actual currency. It has that stupid accessory system that you have to use in order to beat certain challenges on the time towers, the Towers of Time, or whatever it's called. I haven't played in a while. Don't jump up me on this. But, you know, it has the Towers of Time, or whatever, challenges, where you have to add these dumb accessories that give you, like, a +3 advantage here and there, and the only way to get those accessories is to go into the crypt and find those renewable coffins, you know, or you could just grind, you know, go for the classic challenge and grind it. You can get, like, one-time use consumables that make certain challenges easier. Not easy, but easier sometimes, but it's like, which to me is just stupid, but whatever. Like, there's plenty to criticize about Mortal Kombat 2011, and you decide to criticize the fact that Kitana and Jade don't have, like, ginormous titties anymore. You're gonna criticize them because they have a B cup. Really? That's the thing that ruined Mortal Kombat for you. I mean, I don't know, man. Shit, all joking aside, maybe I actually am a foot guy, because I don't see what the big deal is, because, like, I thought Kitana and Jade looked fine, you know? I thought, you know, it's like, yeah, they don't have giant titties anymore, but aside from that, you know, they're still wearing the blue and green, and they still play like Kitana and Jade, and Sonya still plays like Sonya, and all that stuff, you know? It's like, the game, you know, it's fine, you know, just, I don't know, it's like, and that's what this whole thing with Teela just strikes me as, you know, it's like, you're bitching out because Teela has short hair, you know, and you're immediately crying, Snowflake! And it's like, no, maybe, well, I don't know, maybe. I mean, of all the things to cry Snowflake over, a fucking haircut? I don't know. I guess the one thing you can cry Snowflake over, and I would give you an maybe leaning towards yes, is the fact that King Grayskull is black now, and King Grayskull is voiced by the guy who sells Allstate Insurance. I think. It definitely sounds like it. I am totally blanking out on the dude's name, but I know him as the Allstate guy. And I'm pretty sure that's him voicing King Grayskull. Admittedly, I was wrong about Clancy Brown voicing Beastman. That was actually Kevin Michael Richardson. So, my mistake on that one. I apologize. But, you know, it's like... Really? I mean, I'm not one to say, you know, stick to your role, you know, like that. Like, if you want to voice King Grayskull, cool. But don't be surprised when smartasses like me are jumping on and saying, you know, in Eternia, you become the form you always imagined yourself to be. And I think to myself, so you always imagined yourself to be a black guy selling Allstate insurance up in Preternia. I mean, you're dead. I mean, nobody needs insurance in heaven. Auto insurance, health insurance, none of that, you know. It's like, you're already up in heaven. You lived the hard part. Now you just kick back on a cloud and play a harp or something. But all my joking aside here, you know, King Grayskull is black. Stems from the fact that apparently in some obscure comic book that I've never heard of and I didn't even know existed, they portrayed King Grayskull as white, and the only reason they made King Grayskull black is because somebody in the character design department felt like heaven shouldn't be run exclusively by white people. And it's like, okay, I suppose I can give you that one, but really, when you watch Masters of the Universe Revelations, and I mean like watch it from start to finish, not just watch episode 1 and then go to Kevin Smith talking about his 51st birthday on Twitter and then yelling, "Fuck you, you liar!" like a lot of people have chosen to do, you know. It's like, it doesn't really have an impact on anything, you know. I guess he's a black guy now. Okay. I don't know. It's like this whole thing, from where I'm sitting, just seems so petty, you know. It's like, you are burning this much energy, like the amount of hatred that is fueling this campaign is like, this energy could be spent on literally anything more productive. It's a fucking cartoon, people. I mean, I've gotten mad about Mortal Kombat 2021, the movie, you know. I got mad about things in the past, but I never dedicated myself to an angry hate mail campaign of any sort. You know, I bitched about it here and there. I would make a wisecrack here or there, but, like, I've never dedicated myself to stalking somebody on Twitter and screaming at them that they've ruined the franchise forever because, you know, they made Scorpion Mortal Kombat champion instead of Liu Kang. But maybe that's just me, you know. I have long since mellowed out. I've read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and I embraced its message, and I feel like my life is in a better place as a result. That could just be me. Okay, that's going to do it for this rendition of Teal Hat Radio. I will gladly hear all of your hate mail in the comment box of YouTube or Podbean or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm pretty sure I put it on as many platforms as I can, and I'll be checking the control panel here as soon as I'm done uploading it to make sure that no new platforms have popped up, and if some have, I'll put it on there. I don't know if I'm going to be doing this indefinitely, or if I'm going to do it for a couple weeks, or if this will be the last episode I ever do for a while, or ever. I don't really have any concrete future planned here, but this is Teal Hat Radio. Thanks for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole YouTube shuffle. I could really use some love here on this thing, because, you know, just that I worked so hard on it. And